You see this guy right here? This is Eric Davidge. He's a music junkie, and he's about to do something that'll change the entire music industry.
Google is on the acquisition trail here, buying a streaming music company called Songza Media.
Neither Google or Songza have released a specific dollar amount for the purchase.
Will Google be walking on sunshine as a result of its purchase of Songza?
Eric and his co-founders just sold their startup Songza to Google for $40 million. Their music streaming platform with millions of users was completely free. They had started with a digital download store in 2006, then launched music streaming with Songza in 2008 and sold it to Google in 2014. Eric and his co-founders had done the impossible. With millions in the bank and full-time jobs at Google Play Music, they had changed the entire music industry. Except they hadn't. Just 2 years later, in 2016, Google decided to shut down Songza, the app that Eric, Elias, Peter, and Elliot had spent 10 years building was shut down, and its millions of users were left in silence. Back in 2011, Napster, the name that was synonymous with piracy and music stealing, was acquired by Rhapsody, which wanted to turn it into a legal digital music store. Spotify was gaining traction, especially in the US, with the model of free, ad-supported, and premium subscription-based service. Its music discovery features were beginning to reshape music consumption habits. Apple's iTunes dominated the digital download market, helping shift away from physical music purchases, but it hadn't yet explored streaming. Pandora, which was an early internet radio pioneer, provided users with a personalized music experience via its Music Genome project, making it a popular choice for users seeking curated radio experiences. And at the same time, Eric and his co-founders were preparing for the launch of the new and simplified Songza with Music Concierge that would change everything. Their music endeavors actually started back in 2006 when they launched Amy Street to sell MP3s but with dynamic pricing. So songs were cheap to start with and rose in price as more people bought them. Demand and supply from Economics 101 basically.
So it's a little bit complicated. I joined with my co-founders before Songza existed. They had been running a digital download store called Amy Street, which they started in college at Brown and then moved to a suburban house in Long Island.
Then in 2008, they acquired this company named Songza, which was doing internet radio, but without any of the music licenses in place. Basically, it was illegal music streaming. So the team would have to figure out all of the licensing, negotiate with record labels, and shift into the world of music streaming. So they launched Songza Radio to compete with Pandora, and they launched Songza Sets with thousands of expertly crafted playlists that had blurbs and explanations of the playlist and each of the songs. But it just wasn't working.
And so at that point, we had 4 different things going. We had the download store, the original Songza aggregator, the Songza Radio, and Songza Sets. And that was too much.
Seeing that they were just spreading themselves too thin, they saw an opportunity to sell Amy Street to Amazon in 2010 and focus all of their efforts on Songza.
So we kind of combined all of the best things in all of those different Songza products into a new version of Songza. And this was in 2010. We relaunched it. And at that point in time, we still didn't really know what we were doing with it. We just kind of took the best of what we had learned. We had kind of combined it into a single service, which if you look at, I don't know if there's screenshots on the web of Songza 2010, but it's kind of a Frankenstein product.
And their first step was to interview users to ask them, why do you listen to music?
In having these interviews, we recognized that people at that point in time weren't thinking of music so much as a product, but more so as something that enhanced their daily life. And so people weren't, listening to music just to listen to music, right? You don't listen to music just to watch the record spin.
So now, equipped with these new key insights, Eric went back to the drawing board to rethink the entire Songza platform. They had to start from scratch. So first, they actually hired 30 music experts to come up with a catalog of expertly curated playlists for every mood, genre, and activity. Playlists like That Sweet Mumford Melancholy, Prohibition Era Party, Being Pretentious, and many more proved the power of high quality playlists that were curated by people and not just algorithms. The playlists were 100% built by humans with no robots involved. This is the complete opposite of Spotify, which believed in the power of data for music discovery and experiences for its users. Quick plug to subscribe if you haven't already. I put a lot of effort into these videos to make something that you will love. The next revelation was around music discovery. How would people actually find that perfect playlist that matched their vibe and mood without putting in too much effort?
We found that people really liked the playlists, but they weren't necessarily willing to do the work to find them.
Eric realized that he was basically going through these same 4 steps in every tech demo when he was trying to find the perfect playlist for the person across the table from him. And so they just built those steps into the app as the music concierge. Step 1, open the app. Step 2, choose from 6 activities shown based on the time of day, trends, holidays, and past listening behavior. So if it was a weekday morning, you might see activities like commute and singing in the shower. For Saturday night, you would see activities like a dance party, getting high, or even going to bed. Step 3, after picking the activity, pick your current mood, like energized, chill, bored, etc. Step 4, just like that, Songza would give you 3 playlists that perfectly match your activity and vibe.
Went to a cool record store and asked the guy behind the counter, like, what kind of music should I buy or listen to? And they would kind of size you up and be like, oh, you're kind of... you like to explore new kinds of music, but at the end of the day, the stuff that you like is just pop music, has properties of pop music. So let's get you to indie music that's not too weird. And so that was kind of like a category or a playlist.
So in just 4 simple steps, without any of the mental gymnastics, Songza would narrow down thousands of expertly curated playlists down to just 3 that were perfect for you in that time for the activity and mood that you were in. They had basically solved music discovery. But Songza's biggest differentiator was its business model. Unlike other music apps, which monetize through audio ads, subscriptions, or digital sales, Songza was completely free. So users got no audio ads and had no monthly listening limits. They had visual ads on the website, which users would see while in the app. And they also worked with brands to build sponsored playlists around specific activities for their audience. And finally, for the biggest Songza fans, there was a paid subscription to remove all ads. But just with the base free tier of Songza, they had delivered on the original Spotify vision of having a internet-based, completely free music streaming platform for users that would get the artists and labels paid. When Songza launched the iOS app with the Music Concierge feature in 2012, it instantly got picked up and featured by the Apple App Store and hit 5 million users very quickly. It became a contender amongst the giants in the music industry. Truly an overnight success that was 6 years in the making. The team had identified a core problem that all music listeners face. With over 10 million songs available on every music app out there, users just weren't able to find and discover new music. And so they fell back to the artists, genres, and songs that they were familiar with and continued to listen to every day. Users needed a way to discover new music without making the effort of discovering new music. So finally, let's talk about what happened in 2016. After tremendous success on the App Store, being featured by TechCrunch and various news shows, and gaining millions of users in a short period of time, Google came knocking at their door. Songza was acquired by Google and folded into Google Play Music, which is now YouTube Music. So while the Songza app itself was shut down, fragments of its DNA can still be found in the YouTube Music app today, all because Eric and his co-founders listened to users and understood what their core problems were around music discovery rather than just music access and availability. Subscribe to my podcast where I'll be dropping the full interview with Eric, where he talks about the entire product journey, the Google acquisition, and even his own advice for product managers.